If you drive in America long enough, you learn one rule. Highways remember everything, especially the things people try to forget. Across the United States, from I-90 in Washington to the sun-bleached roads of Arizona, there are places where people disappear without explanation, strange figures appear in rearview mirrors, and drivers receive warnings from people who shouldn't even exist. These aren't ghost stories passed around a campfire. These are real police reports, dashcam captures, and first-hand accounts from people who swore they would never drive at night again. Tonight, you're going to hear 5 of the most disturbing, true highway encounters Americans have ever reported. The kind that go viral because they feel too real, too detailed, and too impossible to deny. And the terrifying part? Almost all of them happen on roads you've probably driven, so buckle up, turn your volume up, and whatever you do, don't look in your rearview mirror. First story, the man in the rearview, USA, Kansas Highway 36. Emily Parker was driving from Kansas City to Colorado for her cousin's wedding, a route she had taken at least 6 times before. Highway 36 is long, flat, and surrounded by endless cornfields. No towns, no exits, no lights, just pitch-black American Midwest. It was past 1 a.m. when Emily noticed the first weird thing. No cars, not ahead, not behind. She'd been on the road 45 minutes without seeing a single vehicle, which is unusual even for Kansas. To stay awake, she kept glancing at her rearview mirror. Empty, every time, until suddenly, it wasn't. A pair of headlights appeared behind her. Emily blinked. Where the hell did that car come from? The lights weren't speeding up or slowing down, just holding a perfect distance. At first, she felt relieved. Finally, another person out here. Then the headlights disappeared. No dip in the road, no turnoff, just gone. Emily leaned forward confused, then looked in the mirror again. That's when she saw him, a man sitting in her back seat, perfectly still, barely visible, head tilted, eyes open. She gasped, whipped around. The back seat was empty. She snapped her head back toward the mirror. The man was still there. Her pulse spiked. Her breath froze. She stomped the gas pedal, the car roaring down the empty highway, but the man didn't move, didn't blink, didn't breathe, just stared at her in the mirror. Emily felt pressure in the car, like the air got heavier, colder. Then she heard it. A faint exhale, right behind her ear. She lunged forward, screaming. The radio turned on by itself, blasting static. Through the static came a whisper. "You weren't supposed to see me." Her eyes watered. She floored the gas. Then, silence. When she checked the mirror, he was gone. She pulled over, shaking uncontrollably. Her phone buzzed. A new photo, taken from the back seat. Emily driving, terrified, and behind her, the man leaning forward, inches from her neck. To this day, dozens of drivers on Highway 36 report the same thing. A man in the back seat, seen only in the rear view. Second story, Exit 21 doesn't exist. USA, Arizona, I-17. Truck driver Marcus Reed had been hauling freight across the country for 18 years. He knew the western highways better than he knew his own neighborhood, especially Interstate 17, the lonely, desert-carved road between Phoenix and Flagstaff. But on July 19, 2019, something happened he still refuses to talk about on camera. Around 3:40 a.m., Marcus was fighting exhaustion. He needed a rest stop badly. That's when he saw it. Exit 21, rest area, 1 mile. Marcus frowned. He'd driven this route hundreds of times. There was no Exit 21, but the sign looked brand new. A clean white reflector, modern lettering. 0 damage. He shrugged. Maybe a new rest area was added. He took the exit. The ramp was strangely long and curved in a way he didn't recognize. At the end, there was a small rest stop building. Lights on. Parking lot empty. Not a single car. Marcus parked his truck and stepped out. The desert air was dead silent. Inside the rest stop, the lights flickered. There were vending machines, old wooden tables, a dusty visitor map, and a door labeled "Maintenance, Keep Closed." Marcus was washing his face in the restroom when he heard it. Someone whispering. Low. Male. Close. He spun around, no one there. He stepped into the lobby. All the lights were off. He hadn't turned them off. The parking lot outside was pitch black except for his truck. Then he noticed something. The sign at the entrance. It didn't say rest area anymore. It said, "You shouldn't be here." Marcus froze. The maintenance door slowly creaked open behind him. A voice came from inside. Raspy, desperate. "Go back before it notices you." Marcus ran. Sprinting across the lot, he jumped into his truck and sped back onto the highway. When he looked in the rearview mirror, there was no rest area, no exit, no lights, just untouched desert. Highway Patrol later confirmed, Exit 21 has never existed, and multiple drivers report the same thing. A rest stop that appears only when you're exhausted and tries to keep you there. Marcus didn't stop driving for almost an hour. His hands were shaking so badly he had to pull over near Black Canyon City. He kept replaying the moment in his head. The rest stoplights turning off. The maintenance door opening. That voice warning him, "Go back before it notices you." He didn't know what it was, but he was sure he got close to something no driver was meant to see. At sunrise, Marcus called Highway Patrol. They ran the mile marker numbers. There was no Exit 21. There had never been a rest stop within 50 miles of where he claimed he stopped. Marcus insisted. He even asked them to check old maps. Nothing. But then the officer got quiet. He said, "You're the 6th driver in 3 years to report a rest stop that isn't there." And every single one described a door labeled maintenance. "Don't go looking for it. If you see that exit again, don't take it." Marcus never drove at night again, and trucker forums still talk about the phantom rest area on I-17, seen only by exhausted drivers, the ones the desert tries to keep. Third story, the girl on Route 44, USA, Massachusetts. One of the most viral American highway legends, true eyewitness-based. Route 44 is a quiet New England road that cuts through forests, old homes, and forgotten colonial land. But there's one stretch between Seekonk and Rehoboth where locals refuse to drive alone at night, and driver Andrew Collins became part of that reason. It was October 2020, foggy, cold, typical New England fall. Andrew had just finished a late shift and was driving home around 2:15 a.m. when he saw a girl standing on the side of the road. She couldn't have been older than 15. She wore a light blue hoodie, jeans, and had long brown hair covering her face. Andrew slowed down, rolled down his window. "You okay? Do you need help?" She didn't answer. She just lifted her arm and pointed down the road. A slow, shaky movement. Andrew looked toward where she pointed. Empty highway. When he looked back at her, she was standing at his window now, and her hair had moved. He could see her face. Her eyes were bloodshot red, and her mouth was open too wide. Unnaturally wide, like something had pulled it apart from the inside. Andrew panicked and hit the gas. But the strangest thing wasn't her face. It was her voice. Because as he sped off, windows rolled up, doors locked. He heard her whisper inside the car, "You left me." Andrew checked the back seat so fast he nearly crashed. No one there. His phone buzzed. A notification. A voicemail from his own number. He played it. Static, breathing. Then a girl whispering, "Why didn't you stop?" Andrew went straight to police the next morning. They said, "You're not crazy. We get at least 3 calls every year. She died on that road in 1996, and she never left." Even today, drivers on Route 44 report the same thing. A girl pointing down the highway, waiting for someone to take her home. Andrew stopped driving Route 44 completely after that night, but the encounters didn't stop. For the next 3 nights, he got calls at exactly 2:15 a.m. Every call came from his own number. He never answered, but each time a voicemail appeared. Voicemail Nur 1 was whispering. Voicemail Nur 2 had crying. But voicemail Nur 3, that one broke him. Because the voice wasn't the girl's this time. It was a deeper, older man's voice, like someone speaking from underground. "She's not pointing at the road. She's pointing at you." Andrew moved out of Seekonk the next month. A year later, he learned something disturbing. Just a quarter mile from where he first saw the girl, police discovered a memorial stone hidden by overgrown bushes. It read, "Emily Carter, 1981, 1996, always trying to find her way home." Since then, dozens of drivers have reported a girl pointing, a wide-open mouth, a voicemail from their own number, a whisper saying, "Why didn't you stop?" Massachusetts state troopers refused to comment publicly, but one officer anonymously wrote online, "Route 44 doesn't have a ghost. It has a warning." Fourth story, the car that followed me home, USA, Texas, Highway 281. This story comes from a viral Reddit post and a matching police log from 2018, one of the creepiest highway encounters from Texas. Michelle Torres, a 29-year-old EMT from San Antonio, had just finished a brutal 12-hour shift. She took Highway 281, a dark route through ranch land and scattered towns. Around 1:40 a.m., she noticed a dark blue Chevy behind her, normal at first. Then it got weird. The Chevy matched her speed perfectly. When she slowed, it slowed. When she sped up, it sped up. Michelle wasn't scared yet. She was trained to read danger, but something about the Chevy felt wrong. It didn't have plates. She switched lanes. The Chevy immediately switched too. She turned off onto FM 306 to test it. The Chevy followed. She took another turn. Followed. Another. Followed. Now she was scared. She hit 90 mph. The Chevy stayed right behind her, but the headlights didn't shake at all. Even at high speed, the lights were perfectly steady. No bounce, no vibration, no movement. Like the car wasn't driving, but floating. Michelle reached her neighborhood, thinking the Chevy would turn back. It didn't. It followed her all the way to her house. She pulled into her driveway, heart pounding, and grabbed her radio to call dispatch. The moment she stepped out, the Chevy stopped in the street. Driver's window rolled down, but no face, just darkness. Then a voice, low, metallic, almost robotic, and came from inside. "You should not be here." Michelle stepped back. The headlights flickered once, and the Chevy vanished. Not drove off, not sped away, vanished. No tire marks, no sound, no taillights in the distance, just empty Texas road. Her door camera caught everything except the Chevy. The footage shows Michelle pulling into her driveway. And behind her? Nothing. But Michelle swears she saw it. And she's not the only one. In the last 5 years, 14 drivers on Highway 281 have reported a blue car with steady headlights, no plates, following them home, and then disappearing. Locals call it the road escort, but EMTs in the area have a different name. The car that knows when you're tired. Story: the hitchhiker who wasn't there. USA, I-95, New Jersey. This story comes from a police report and multiple witness accounts, making it one of the most viral and chilling highway encounters in the Northeast. It was a rainy November night in 2017. Tommy Bennett, a 32-year-old delivery driver from Newark, was heading south on I-95. Traffic was light. Rain pounded the windshield. He'd been driving for hours and was exhausted. At mile marker 72, he saw her, a young woman soaking wet, standing on the shoulder, thumb out. She looked cold, scared, exactly what a normal person would need a ride. Tommy slowed down. "Hey, do you need a ride?" he called out. She nodded quickly, sliding into the passenger seat. She smelled of rain and wet asphalt. Her hands were shaking. Tommy noticed something strange. She didn't speak. Not a word, just stared straight ahead, motionless. The next 10 minutes were silent. Then Tommy glanced at her reflection in the rearview mirror. Her face was impossible. Eyes completely black, no whites. Mouth slightly open, and her skin looked pale gray. Not sick, dead. He slammed on the brakes and swerved. The car fishtailed on the wet highway. He turned to speak to her, and she wasn't there. Passenger seat empty. No sound, no drop of water, nothing. Shaking, he checked his rearview mirror. On the shoulder, standing in the rain, was the woman again. But this time, her face slowly split into a grin that went beyond human possibility. Tommy floored the gas. By the time he reached the next exit, she had vanished completely. The next day, he went to the police. Officers had received 5 calls that night from other drivers. Each described the same young woman, at mile marker 72, seeking a ride. Some said she sat silently. Some said she disappeared. Local legend now calls her the I-95 hitchhiker. And here's the most terrifying part. Witnesses swear she only appears when it's raining heavily. Every encounter ends with the passenger disappearing. No one has ever reported picking her up and arriving safely at their destination, with her in the car. Why these stories haunt America's highways? Across the United States, highways are more than roads. They're a canvas for the unknown. Highway 36 Kansas, the man in the back seat. I-17 Arizona, the rest stop that doesn't exist. Route 44 Massachusetts, the girl who never finds her way home. Highway 281 Texas, the car that follows you. I-95 New Jersey, the hitchhiker who isn't there. Every story shares one common thread. These are roads people know, yet at night they become places where the impossible waits. If you're driving alone at night on an empty highway, remember, sometimes the things you see aren't trying to scare you, they're testing you, watching you, and sometimes they follow you home. So next time you're driving late, remember these 5 true stories. And whatever you do, don't stop for a stranger. Don't take the exit that shouldn't exist. And don't look back. Because on America's highways, sometimes the dead are already riding with you. Did these true highway horrors give you chills? Don't drive alone tonight. Subscribe to Rust and Relic for more terrifying true stories from America's darkest roads. Hit the bell, stay alert, and remember, and on these highways, the next story could be yours. Watch, listen, survive.